Hi, I'm Madeline from Sheen Slings. This is my video of how to tighten a buckle carrier with rucksack straps. I have another video showing cross straps, so if you're wearing your carrier cross straps, you can go and see the other one, but this one is how to tighten with rucksack straps. This carrier is the Ergo Omni 360, but this method will work with any carrier that you can wear rucksack strap formation. So how do we tighten? If I loosen off my carrier, I'm going to loosen the waistband too. You can see now my baby is too loose, and I can tell it's because they've slipped right down. They're not really aligned to my centre of gravity, so it's heavier for me and it's pulling forwards, and over a long period of time this would be really uncomfortable for me. It's also not ideal for my baby because it is so loose, they're at risk of slumping within the sling and potentially getting in difficulties with their airway, so I really need to tighten this baby up. So how do I do that? Well, first thing I do is I just lift them up and support. So it's important to lift and really hold them, because so I'm not fighting gravity. If I try and just tighten the straps while gravity is pulling my baby downwards, I'm going to really struggle and I'm going to need a lot of strength to do that. So I'm just going to lift, that's going to make it super easy for me, and I'm going to start with the waistband, because getting a nice snug waistband is the foundation of any good carrier. If you can tighten all the other straps up as much as you like, but if your waistband isn't snug, you're never going to get it truly well fitting. So there we go, that's nice and snug, and you'll notice on this carrier I've got a lumbar support. So I've paid attention to tightening up both sides to try and keep that lumbar in the middle, where it's going to give me the most support. So now I'm on to tightening the shoulder straps. You can see while the waistband is nice and steady, baby's not slumping as far, I've still got loads of looseness. So if I lean forward, you can see baby's really pulling away from me. So I need to get this nice and snug. And how am I going to do that? Well, first thing I'm going to, again, support them under their bum, and I'm going to push anything that's loose over my shoulders. And then I'm going to, first on one side and then on the other side, I'm going to roll my shoulders and literally pull both sides together downwards. And the reason for that is to get that chest strap as low as I can. So you'll see on this one, I'm getting this around the height of my bra strap, or just above my bra strap, and that's about ideal to give me the best support, to have it around the height of my bra strap or slightly higher. Certainly not sort of up here. You want it sort of really mid-back to give you the best support and the best comfort. If when you've done your shoulder roll and you're wiggling down, it's still not getting low enough, you might need to get somebody to help you to actually adjust it on the carrier itself. You can see these slide up and down, so you might need to get someone to help you, or next time when you're taking your carrier off, slide it up and down and try and guesstimate how much further up or down you need to get that in the right place for you. So come back to here, so I'm going to pull both and I'm going to roll my shoulders, and then once I've got that low, you can see I've brought all the slack to by the buckle, and then once all the slack is here, again supporting my baby under the bum so that I'm not fighting gravity, I'm going to start to tighten this out, and I'm sort of going to do it bit by bit on each side. So I'm going to do a bit, and then I'm going to pull and roll a bit more and do a bit more and pull and roll a bit more. I can put this wherever I feel comfortable in terms of my geometry, under my arms and around my boob. I can push it down lower than my boobs if I want to, but I'm just going to sort of roll, and then anything that's loose, slowly pull out. And I'm doing it bit by bit on each side, because what I don't want to do is sort of, if I tighten fully one side, I will pull this whole thing more to one side than the other, and I want at the end for it to be relatively even. So once I've done all that sort of back and forth thing and pulling, I should now be nice and snug. So if I lean forward, voila, baby is not moving away from me. Nice and snug and secure. So why did I do it that way? Why did I take all those extra steps of pulling and putting yourself? Why didn't I just yank at the straps? Well, let's try that. So this is the way most people would start, and I think most obvious is baby is loose and then tighten the straps. And it's still too loose, so tighten the straps some more. Let me try that again and see if you can see what's happening. So just grab both straps and tighten it. Oh, let's tuck that out of the way. Both straps and just tighten it. Do you see how baby's back is really getting flattened across the carrier? And the reason for that is the path of least resistance is just straight across baby's back. And so if we just yank the straps, because there's all this friction across the back, that won't move. What will happen is we'll pull the straps, we'll just pull the panel really tight across baby, and this will flatten their back. And this is often when you're putting babies in, if you don't realise this and you start tightening it, they start to scream or grumble, and that's because this is quite uncomfortable for them. There we go. So the key really with tightening is exactly what it's saying, is to move the looseness. Move the looseness over the shoulders, because as we do that, we're never going to get it out here. And you can see if I lean my baby forward, they're still loose, they're still flopping away from me. So the trick is very much to, let's get it back, to loosen their back nicely rounded. The trick is really very much to move any looseness over your shoulders, pull it down, roll your shoulders to release that friction across your back as you're pulling, and then take it out bit by bit. And you can see by moving the looseness, we're not pulling at baby's back. And once we've got this tightened, you should be able to slide your hands in there and feel that this isn't overly tight. But now we don't have, let me keep going. But what we don't have is loads of space. So when I lean forward, you can see now baby is not pulling away at all. So this is nice and secure and nice and snug. And really, parents often ask me, how do I know if it's tight enough? How do I know if it's not too tight? Well, we want baby to maintain having that rounded back. And if they're not, if they ever don't have a rounded back, loosen it off, allow them to get comfortable, and then find it from behind you to retighten if it needs it. And how do you know if it's too tight? Well, if it's pulling away from you. As long as you're able to take a bow and there's no space, it's great. I hope that was helpful.